Hey guys, so I've gotten lots of comments and my bad, comments on my video of skydiving. And I just want to speak to that a little bit. A lot of people are saying how brave I was and things like that. And I just want to be clear, I was scared. When I say scared, I was scared to skydive, y'all. I've never had a desire to jump out of a plane ever in my life. So when my teenage daughter, who was getting ready to go off to college, was like, "Ma, I want to skydive," I was like, okay. So anyway, long story short, I decided to go ahead and sign up to skydive, right? So I'm like, okay, let's go. So we get there. First thing you have to do is watch a video and sign a page, several page waivers, several pages of a waiver. And in big gray letters, I should have took a picture, it says danger. And then one of the things it says is 1 out of, I think it was 80,000 people don't survive. It's on you. It just says all this stuff. And I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness. You know, they always tell you to read everything before you sign it. Yeah, I stopped reading at that point. Because I was like, if I keep reading, I'm not going. So I went ahead and signed it. And then we went out and our instructor came, hooked us up, put us in our harness and all that fun stuff. And I said, you know what? I got this. And now that I look back on the dive, oh, and let me get to the sky. So we're in the little plane, a smaller plane that I think I've ever been in. So you can feel every little, you know, what do you want to call it? Like, I don't call it turbulence. I don't know if that's what you call it, but in the sky, right? So we're going and we're going. We're about halfway up. And my instructor shows me his watch that says, oh, we're only halfway up. And I'm like, oh no, no, don't tell me that, right? Like, because we're so high. And I'm like, we're going to jump out of a plane and we still got to go miles up further. So anyway, I said, don't tell me anymore. So we get up to the top. I'm okay. And they open the door. And the first guy jumps out. He's learning how to dive, right? He jumps out and he disappears. Like literally, he is zoop, under the plane. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? Then the next one jumped, zoop, under the plane. At this point, my daughter and her instructor next, and then we're up, right? So we're scooting up, and my instructor scoots us up. We're at the thing. I didn't have time to think about it. He didn't ask me if I wanted to stay. He just said, let's roll. So we rolled. And let me tell y'all, the experience was amazing, right? And for me, one of the reasons I pushed forward with this is because I wanted to prove to myself that I could conquer my fears, right? Because we all have fears. It's a natural thing, a healthy thing to have, right? And I don't want those fears to control me, right? And so my plan is going forward to think about how great it felt after I skydived and use that to drive me when I have fears, right? To not let those fears get in my way. So what I would say to you is I want to encourage you, think about some of the fears you might have and how can you work to overcome them. They don't have to be skydiving, you know, that's a pretty big thing. But it could be fear of talking to people, right? So maybe you say, okay, I'm gonna set a goal to talk to 3 people in a week's time, right? And then have an accountability partner or someone who can help you and hold you accountable to that goal, right? And I promise you, you will feel better after you conquer those fears. Take baby steps if you need to, but you got this. Talk to you later.